Now that you are comfortable with breakpoints, it's time to kick it up a notch. I'm going to use this beyond basic breakpoint application to show you how to do hit counts in breakpoints and how to do conditional breakpoints. Let me start by running the application. I'll press F5 to run the application. This first demonstration, I select a color and then click on the button. That changes the color of the ellipse. In the second button, I click on the hit count breakpoint button, and that fills a text block with a list of characters. Now let's add a breakpoint. I'll shut down the application and switch over to main window.xaml, and then I'll double click on this conditional breakpoint button. What this code does is get the selected item in the list box, cast it to a color sample. Now color sample is a class that I wrote that has a color name and a color brush. I get the item, and then I take the color brush and I assign it to the ellipse fill property. What I want to do is break on this line of code. Now, if I put a normal breakpoint in here and run the application, every time I select a color and click on the button, it hits my breakpoint. In other words, it's not conditional. It runs no matter which one of these colors is selected. Now, that can get tedious when you're debugging. You may have a bug report that says the problem only occurs with certain conditional data. So let's make a conditional breakpoint. I'm going to right-click on the red dot and choose Condition. In this dialog, I choose whether or not I want to have a conditional breakpoint. And if I do, I type in the condition that I want to evaluate in this text box. In my case, it's going to be current color.colorName = orange. When that condition is true, I want to break. I'll click OK. Run the application. Choose a blue brush. Nothing happens. Choose a yellow brush. Nothing happens. But when I choose the orange brush, now I hit my breakpoint. I can also modify this breakpoint to say when it's changed. Now I'm hitting it when it's yellow. I'm not hitting it until I go to orange. And now it's changed to orange. So it's when it's changing either to the orange value or from the orange value that I hit my breakpoint. For the next demonstration, I'll add a hit count breakpoint to this button. Double click on the button. Put a breakpoint here on line 55. Again, I'll go add a breakpoint, then right-click on it, choose hit count, and then I'll say break when the hit count is a multiple of 12, and then click OK. Notice that you can tell whether it's a hit count or a conditional because the breakpoint now has a plus symbol in the center. I'll press F5 to run the application with a debugger attached. I'll click on this. It hits my breakpoint. If I look at my counter, you'll see that the current counter is 12. Now I'll press F5 to run the application. And now when I hover over this, I'll see the hit counter is 24. Let's review. At first glance, a breakpoint seems simple, just a way to stop a running app to inspect the code. But it's more sophisticated than that. Using the hit count or conditional settings can really save time during a debugging session.